Welcome back to ComicCast, issue number 142, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Check them out, Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. I'm Boogie Bentley.
What's going on?
Hey, Adam, do you want to join us?
Yeah, my earbuds fell out, bud.
It's your turn to say your name.
Yeah, they know who
Adam
he is.
Wade Adams, as if there's not like two other people to go to. I know we always go in this order, but my goodness.
Why is it that every time you make a mistake, you get real mad at people?
Yeah, don't get upset, man. You need to calm.
You screw up and get mad at us. It's not fair.
Meditate, man.
Oh.
I'm Boogie David.
I'm Adam Wade Adams.
Oh, it's my turn? I'm Gaumer. So I have no idea what happened. It's off the rails already.
Adam happened. We're at ComicCastPod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Wherever you get social with your media. If you want me to tell you to piss off, you can follow us at ComicCastPod on Twitter. If you're listening to this on YouTube, do us a favor. Hit the like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe. Also, for the pre-show, you can check it out at patreon.com/ComicCastPod. For next to nothing, you get pretty much a bonus podcast a month.
Yeah.
Man, we are coming out on fire tonight, fellas.
we should do like a shout out instead for the Patreons.
Thank you, Yule Carter, and thank you, Matthew Lane.
Okay, thanks for shout out.
Was that good?
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
This is what happens when we podcast at 6 o'clock at night.
It's way past my bedtime.
I just woke up like 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
I need a nap.
Yeah, this is my nap time. This is my pre-bed
headphones, bro.
bedtime.
I have headphones. I just don't want to wear those. I prefer the earbuds.
Wow, you look all professional like a DJ.
They actually look like the Princess Leia buns, and he's just embarrassed to wear them on camera.
Wear earbuds.
You should go get the Princess Leia head buns,
hair
buns.
Here, they're not even on or working, but I'll wear these just so you feel better.
Just to create the illusion.
Well, if you do that, it would keep those earbuds from falling out off of your ears. How was Free Comic Book Day, Adam? You're the only one that went. How'd it go?
I went to Free Comic Book Day.
I know, but you don't count. You didn't do anything.
It was
ran the Plinko board.
It was normal. I really did not put a whole lot of effort this year into Free Comic Book Day.
What sort of effort do you put in? Do you like dress up?
No, I never dress up. Used to. I would actually map out shops. I would do what, David?
You could go as one half of the tag team champs.
Oh, he's embarrassed.
No, I used to map out comic shops throughout like South Carolina and here, and I would hit like 6 or so shops and just make a big like tour of it.
Nice.
In a quest to get, because there's there's always like around 40 or 50 books, maybe.
Yeah, that's about that, I think. 50
something like that. So I would try to get as many as I could, make kind of a scavenger hunt of it. But this time I only went to like 2 shops, bought a few things, got the picked up the Constantine Pop because why not?
Nice, previews,
that is
exclusive.
Awesome. That is awesome.
I should have got one.
You could have.
Such a high energy show.
You could have, Gomer, and then you could have played the Plinko at the shop.
Shut up, man. Don't be mean.
But yeah, I don't know. I just felt it just felt just kind of like, another Free Comic Book Day.
It's lost some of its luster, man. I've noticed that. It used to be a thing that was like, hey man, let's get new comic book readers into the shop. People, little kids and people who otherwise wouldn't read comics into the comic book shop to get some stuff, to be introduced to the shop people, to go in there. And now it just seems like it's a big ad for us who are already reading the books just to go to the comic book shop another day.
Well, like
exactly what I said. It's marketing. It's marketing a preview for what's coming. And it doesn't even matter if you really read it. It really doesn't matter.
In previews, they market this thing like from October to May, and then they market the one from May to October.
Yeah. Well, and I'm okay with that, but that's really, like you said, it's in the previews catalog. Nobody who isn't getting the previews catalog is going to say, oh, I'll get the previews catalog. And like, oh, look at it. It's Halloween, whatever, Superfest, Comic Fest or whatever. Yeah. And then free comic book day. No one is doing that. I was walking down the sidewalk, walking into my shop, and a dude come by and he said, hey man, what are they doing in there? Why is it so busy? And I'm like, it's free comic book day, dude. And he turned around and walked in. So, I mean, maybe it is getting new people in because I certainly got somebody in. So it's hard for me to say that. I know Travis at our shop, he had it all over Facebook. And I guess the shop was mentioned on the news that morning. So maybe noobs are getting in there. I hope so.
But you only went to the one comic shop. I mean, Chris.
So how many shops you go to?
I can go. On previous free comic days, I've gone to more than one.
But this year, you only went to the one.
I only went to the one.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's
how many? The thing is, you can get people there by offering them free stuff. You can offer people free anything, and people show up. Definitely. But what's the retention after free comic book day? Because it's dead on new comic book day the next week.
Yeah, I don't know what those numbers are. I don't know if they even have numbers.
You're rolling you're rolling the dice that somebody out of everyone that comes in is going to discover that they like to read comic books.
You're hoping
like that medium.
I think speaking for Dwayne's World, when I've gone there for free comic book day, it's more of let's get them in the door and then let's sell them a bunch of Funko Pops or maybe a trade paperback off the shelf. You know, they're trying to make that money while they have people in their shop.
And that's smart. But yeah. I think it's true what Adam said too, that they are trying to get repeat customers. And it's got to be hard to do that with comics medium as it is today, man. I'm just not sure there's a lot there for noobs to come into. I don't know.
That's why pretty much every place that was doing free comic book day here was offering deals and specials throughout the entire store, 20% off of this or 50% off of back issues and things like that. To deal so that when you did come in, you would find stuff possibly cheaper and buy other stuff while you're in the store too. It's like not only offer you free comics, but if you want more comics on top of that, you buy more. So I don't know. I feel like when a store doesn't do that, take advantage of that opportunity, they're missing out. Someone walk in, I'm check out this free comic book day, but there's no specials going on to entice them to purchase something that they wouldn't normally purchase before.
Yeah, I was talking to David about our shop, and I think our shop does things differently than I would do things. You know what I mean? I would do like Adam is saying, get the books that a noob, somebody who doesn't read comics, is going to want to grab. Stuff based on the current Marvel movies or popular Batman stuff, put it front and center. Even stuff based on TV shows, Firefly and stuff like that, man. Star Wars comics.
Stuff they're familiar with outside the genre.
The Walking Dead, The Boys, which everybody is talking about, that's happening over at Amazon soon. Take advantage of that synergy of it being in a different medium and try to do anything to get somebody to come back into the shop, because that's my problem with it. I think it started off as trying to get new people to read comics, and it's turned into just promotion towards people who are already reading comics, and that defeats the purpose.
Yep, this right here.
I didn't get nothing. Because
this right here is a perfect example of what Gomer's talking about. Because I guess according to this, the Spider-Man arc starts here.
Yeah.
Starts in a free comic book day comic.
But that's the thing DC's done with several stories in the past.
Well, that's the problem.
But I think that is to try to get a new reader. If you walk into a store, you have no idea where to start. No idea. You got 42 Spider-Man books on the shelf. But if I go in and you hand me a free book and it says new story arc starts here, I feel like I have a jumping on point. It's overwhelming when you walk into a shop that first time.
Yeah, that is one of the things that one of the guys at our comic shop has said is like, when somebody comes in and says, hey, I want to read Spider-Man, where's a good place? Or hey, I want to read X-Men, where's a good place to jump on? It's like, well, you got 50 years of history right there that you kind of got to figure out, well, what's a good starting point for you?
Well, that's what's sad about it. Because what I would tell somebody if they were honestly asking me, I would say Google best Spider-Man runs. and find it and pick up the trade on Amazon for almost half price most of the time.
What's even sadder is I would ask, where do you know Spider-Man from the best?
Yeah.
Is it from the Spider-Verse movie? Get him a Miles Morales. If it's from, one of the MCU or something like that, maybe get him something a little bit newer, but still classic.
But aren't you going to direct somebody to a trade?
Definitely. Oh, without a doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's not helping a comic shop.
Well, it could if we're at the comic shop, but you're right. It might. Yeah.
See, and if someone walked into Free Comic Book Day and they saw this, I know Stranger Things, and they might pick it up.
Yeah.
But then what they would also get is Black Hammer, and that would get them on possibly Black Hammer.
That's good. Yeah. Henry in the chat mentions the new Bloodshot Free Comic Book Day issue that came out, and it was a debut of a new story arc that's coming out, that's starting. So yeah, that's what Valiant's doing, trying to get a new reader to pick up Bloodshot. And there's some excitement around Bloodshot too, with the movie, Vin Diesel and all that. So yeah, I gotta give it up. Valiant is doing that, so yeah, good on Henry. He knows I hate Valiant, relatively speaking.
We've got 8 in the live chat, guys. Everybody that's listening, do us a favor, jump over and hit that like button. Share out the link on social media and help us grow this live audience.
Yeah,
did you see the DC Inc. start this new DC Inc. thing starting? Sounds interesting.
They've been advertising it like crazy in the books.
Yeah. That's a new alternate story, Catwoman.
Yeah, Catwoman.
That's like a young readers, isn't it? Oh yeah, that is. Yeah. That's the young readers imprint. Yeah, that's not for me, I don't think, man.
Yeah, check it out. I can't tell if that's going to be the actual art or if it's just blue line and it's going to be in color when it actually
it's the actual art.
Bob Goes to the Mayor.
Yeah, it's got that blue ink.
There's your motion comic right there, Gomer.
And it also had like the Raven thing in the back. So
it looks all right.
Yeah, it looked pretty neat.
It's neato, man.
Gomer, you didn't pick up any of the books at all? You just didn't care?
No, I didn't pick up any of the books. My comic shop it was weird. They had last year's free comic books and this year's mixed and matched all together.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really tell what was what, and nothing really struck my fancy. Okay, I had read up.
You do how many comic book podcasts? You own Outright Geekery. Yeah. You are obsessed with the pop culture nerd fandom, and you couldn't sort it out. So how's a new reader going to sort it out?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So that was a mistake that I actually pointed out to some people at my shop, said, hey, this probably isn't a good idea. But they had all the other swag available. Like you could get posters or things like that. Like you were allowed 7 items altogether, including a single comic counts as 1 item. So I just picked up some random stuff, a few things for my kids, some posters and things like that. So
and he didn't get to play Palenko.
Yeah, I didn't buy anything.
Cheers to Comics Podcast in the chat says that Spawn though. Adam, did you pick that up? You're the one that's doing
it was a reprint of number 1 and I have the original number 1.
Oh, welcome to bragging camp.
No, I mean there's nothing to really brag about, but
look at that smirk on his face.
I'm smirking because I love it when Gomer calls out bragging camp. It makes me laugh on the inside and outside.
Yeah, on the outside.
I've got the first issue and I've got the when they reprinted it with kind of like a director's cut deal. I've got that, so I really and like Gomer was saying, you could you're limited to what you can get, so I pass on it. What I really wanted was this new Donny Cates story.
Donny Cates, y'all.
The
Venom one?
No, Interceptor.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
Yeah. I wanted Interceptor, and I wanted this Dragonfly and Dragonfly Man from Ahoy. Yeah, and this is like a new story too. This is not a reprint of the miniseries that just happened.
The Wrong Earth.
And then you had Grumble versus the Goon.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, New England Comics, The Tick. You got to pick up The Tick.
Spoon!
And they're usually...
You got a nice stack.
Yeah, they're always new. I kind of map out what books I absolutely have to have and want to get. And then when I go back to the comic shop, I'll see if they have any leftovers. Which
See, that's what I'm expecting on Wednesday. I mean, Dwayne usually has a pretty good crowd, but I'm fully expecting to go in Wednesday and him let me pick whatever I want.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works out. We got 10 in the live chat. Thank you, guys. I think that's a personal best for us here at
Yeah, we hit double digits.
Do us a favor, smash that like button, and share out the link. Let's see if we can grow this thing.
Now, is it 10 including us or 10 separate from us?
Hey,
David, shut up, man.
Yeah, don't get hung up on semantics, bro.
Have you ever heard of kayfabe?
Henry Starling says he's in the Spawn #1 club.
Nice. It's like 20 million. You and the rest of America.
Yeah, I think I'm in the Prime #1 club. When I see a Prime #1, for some reason I have the obsessive compulsive need to buy it, and I don't know why.
Man Bear Pig in the chat, loyal Twitter follower.
Nice.
And a firefighter as well. Thank you for your service. I avoid shops on Free Comic Book Day anymore. Hate the crowds. Yeah, Dwayne's is bad. Dwayne's is bad, dude.
Yeah, the shop we went to is bad. Man Bear Pig, do you still get the comics though, like at your shop before or after Free Comic Book Day? Because I know some shops will sell them, at like a discount. I know my shop does that every year.
What's that online comic shop that I've ordered stuff from?
Midtown.
Yeah, I think Midtown. You can actually go on there, and you have to pay shipping, I think, but you can put the Free Comic Book Day comics in your cart, and they don't cost anything. You just pay shipping.
Oh wow, that's
neat.
Cool.
Yeah. So
how about Comixology get on that, like they did with the Year of the Villain deal?
Dude, right.
I thought the Free Comic Book Day books eventually do show up on digital.
It might be eventually. It might.
Man Bear Pig says he'll get some eventually.
Yeah, that's how I am, dude. I'll get them eventually.
We said everyone
somewhere.
Everyone will get a Turbo Man eventually.
All right, we still got 10 in the live chat. Let's run some of them off. Let's talk about Uncanny X-Men #17 and the drama that surrounds it, because I'm gonna piss some people off.
The live chat just emptied out.
Right.
They're on the edge of their seat to see who I can offend.
Right. All right. Matthew Rosenberg, Carlos Gomez, Guru Effects, and VC's Joe Caramagna.
Joey C.
All right. Last issue we learned Rain had died, and this is a rather thoughtful issue about loss and losing. With a great cliffhanger at the end that was overshadowed by some controversy. All right, let me dig into it a little bit. At one point, Rain is approached by some men. She's just sitting in a park, minding her own business, and she's hit on. So she turns the guy down, and he gets rough. So she gets rough back, and then she's embarrassed for showing her mutant side. And then she's accused of, quote unquote, trapping men posing as a quote unquote normal girl. And these guys just beat the crap out of her and end up killing her. Okay. All right. I honestly had no idea whatsoever that the terms trap and normal in this context had become sort of like trigger words or slurs or something. But there is a legal precedent of men assaulting trans individuals and getting no penalty because men said that they felt like they were being lied to maliciously by the transgender individual. All right, that's the background of the controversy.
Is that where the term trap comes from?
Yes, that's where the term.
So what are you opening it up for my opening comments now?
Well, I'm not sure yet, because the problem that some had was that Marvel's Mutant Metaphor shouldn't be a substitute for representation. And that stories like this normalize violence against a group while denormalizing the same group because of a lack of representation. So that's the one side of it.
Well,
but
my thought to that is, and we started to disagree about this the other night in our private message, and I want to get your true opinion on this.
Yes.
So if that's the case, what have the X-Men and mutants stood for since the 60s?
You're exactly right. Okay. That's what I was about to say. We run into the problem of the mutant metaphor actually being used as a metaphor. So I think the question we have to ask ourselves is, who is the metaphor pointed to? Okay.
But hasn't it always been that way?
I think it has, but maybe we've moved past the point.
We can't move past that point.
I don't know if we can, because, all right, the idea of the mutant metaphor in the 60s was used because Marvel Comics really wasn't allowed to use actual minorities in the comics at that time. But now they can, They can have trans individuals in the comics and nobody is going to raise a stink. The same people are going to raise a stink, but it's not going to be like a full-on outcry like it would have been in the 60s. So what I'm saying is perhaps, and I don't know, I'm just bringing this up, perhaps we've moved past the mutant metaphor to where the mutant metaphor without representation is actually offensive. Now, I'm not saying I agree with that. I
think the whole problem for me with this comic book is people are mad saying, why did they do that? Why did the guys that killed her, the guys that jumped her and killed her were villains.
Exactly.
So, and I think this just piggybacks on what I talked about last week and got so irritated about. Everybody, not everybody.
Yeah.
Select group of people on social media making a big deal out of that Vader Dark Visions comic because Vader killed a psychopath stalker of a woman. Did she deserve to die? No. Vader's a villain. Vader kills people. Vader has killed millions of people. Vader blew up his daughter's home planet.
Or at least was complicit in.
Vader doesn't have to validate
He was president
anything.
at that time, but he wasn't the one that ordered the firing.
Whatever.
So I was told on social media, again, over this Uncanny X-Men issue, that because I gave out the digital code, that I was part of the problem. And I was the reason that these two sides can't agree. You know what? And that's when I told the guy to piss off and he blocked me. But it's a freaking comic book, man.
Exactly.
I think that Rosenberg's intention was to possibly raise awareness for this, what's happening. Like you said, you didn't even know the terms. You didn't know. I read the issue first, had no clue anything. I didn't think anything different. And then all of a sudden, all this drama starts coming up. And I'm like, now Rosenberg has raised awareness. He shared out this suicide hotline for trans. Was it trans teenagers? Now I'm confusing it.
Trans Lifeline. It was translifeline.com.
Okay.
I think.
So
I'm with you. Okay. And I understand both sides. I think what we should do is eliminate those extremists who are like, this is perpetuating a problem.
You're 100% accurate on that. 100%.
When all Rosenberg, and I agree with you, all Rosenberg was trying to do was begin a conversation. And isn't that what art is freaking supposed to do?
How emotional was that issue?
I thought so, dude. It was touching. It was moving. Wolverine going and looking for revenge. I knew that's what he was going to go do.
Because that's what he does.
Exactly.
Everybody else is coming together, sharing stories, sharing memories, talking about friends they've lost. And Wolverine's like, let's go take care of this.
Exactly. Let's fix the problem. Let's solve the problem. And so, I want to quote Rosenberg just so we have full, whatever going on here. He's quoted on Twitter. I just want to say that I am listening to all the criticisms and taking it in. I want to let other voices lead the conversation here. With that said, I do want to apologize to people hurt by our story. That was never, ever our intention. And I think that's classy. That's a classy move.
It's classy, but for me, I hate when somebody apologizes when I don't think they did anything wrong.
Well, he's apologizing if he unintentionally hurt someone. If you get into an accident, a car accident, and it's an unintentional thing, you still apologize, And I think that's what
do you apologize
doing
when you get into an accident? It's an accidental thing, and then 14 people from the Walmart run out and go, "You psychopath! You did it! I can't." No, I'm gonna shoot him a bird and be like, "Get out of here."
Yeah. Well, for them being offended, sure, be apologetic, but for them coming back at you, no, that's not right. Again, I don't think anybody should be harping on him for his art, and I think it brought up people talking about it. Listen to us; we're talking about it.
He should not apologize, in my opinion. Because it was nothing meant out of malicious intent.
If anything, it was the opposite. He was trying to do a good thing.
I really think he was.
This is something I've learned, mainly from my wife, is that when it's something that either is not your fault or along those lines. But someone is say harping on you for something, you don't say, "Well, I'm sorry," because then that insinuates that you're accepting the blame. No, what you say is, "It's unfortunate you feel that way."
No, and I tend to agree with you, but
it's unfortunate these morons feel that way.
I like the fact that he's owning it. You know what I mean? One way or the other, and he even says he's going to let other people lead the conversation. I think that's a good idea. So
you have this guy who has created a conversation on this massive platform that these people who feel so strongly about the subject probably would not even be able to come close to. They should grasp that opportunity but instead they saw it as a time to paint themselves as victims, and they just completely botched the whole thing.
I tend to agree with you, and I think that is a
unfortunate
very
they
small
didn't think
minority.
about it.
I think that is a very small minority.
And it's like I said, I'm sure there's some and that's the thing that irritates me a big about it, is that in this massive group of people who are just being morons and idiots, you've got a handful of sincere, genuine people in there that deserve to be heard, but they're being drowned out by all the other idiots.
Well, that's like Gaumer said, that you have the extremes. You have the extremes, and that's my problem. Is when I'm on Twitter or social media, I hear that extreme, and then I blow a gasket. I can't stay in that calm area because those extremists drive me up the wall.
But I honestly think that there is something we can take away from this in the overarching scheme of the X-Men. Okay. There were sound minds, there were calm voices who did explain it in a way that made sense to me, that perhaps the mutant metaphor, in a time where it is socially acceptable to include the people you're actually metaphoring, or whatever word, is maybe not the best approach.
But you know what, though?
Maybe the mutant metaphor is just done and old-fashioned. Maybe we've come that far, and that's a good thing.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But I have a feeling, and maybe I'm wrong, that if we weren't using mutants in a metaphor, and it was just a trans person in this situation, people would have still.
Oh, I tend to agree with you.
And it's not just mutants. If you happen to watch the season premiere of this latest season of iZombie, the same exact thing is happening, but in regards to the zombie population on that show. They're being viewed as in this same exact light. With the metaphor of, when you simmer it down, it's the same thing. These people, someone who is different than you, and you lash out violently against them. That's pretty much the gist of it, right?
Yeah.
Or you treat them differently than you would treat other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show iZombie, has there been any outcry on iZombie about this whole thing?
Henry Starling in the live chat says ComicSgate is the big problem. Let me say this about ComicSgate. We're definitely not ComicSgate. We like to fly that middle flag, right? We wave it out in the middle. Here's the thing about ComicSgate. Is there absolute pukes in ComicSgate? Absolutely. But is there absolute pukes on the other side? 100%.
Yes.
100%. It's both sides, man. So to just say ComicSgate is the problem, that's not the case. I disagree with that.
It's extremes, man.
Yep.
It really is the extremes. Now, I just got done saying that perhaps the mutant metaphor is old-fashioned. But because Rosenberg used the mutant metaphor in this way, it's actually showing that the mutant metaphor can still be used to carry on the same agenda that Stan Lee did, to be a metaphor for racism and prejudice. And it proves itself that it works by almost not working. You know what I mean? It's very meta. I was very taken back by this. I'm so glad we talked about it in the chat, because that gave me some time to stew on it a little bit and actually get my opinion down. So, I mean, I'm not sure what I think about this, but I think it is a great opportunity for everybody to have a discussion and grow and to learn a little bit about everything.
Well, that's why I love our show, and I love the four of us, because we all four come from different backgrounds, different areas.
Yeah.
But there's times I come to that message, that group chat, and I'm like, I'm so fired up. But then when we talk about it, I think we on this show get a pretty good overall picture of that neutral ground, right? So that's what
the place to be. I think so often the media loves to run with Twitter posts that are just so extreme, and this is what people are thinking. No, it's not. It's what 2 or 3 people are thinking. You went and found the smelliest turd you could find instead of just finding people. And it's just weird to me, man. But I don't know.
How many people probably read Uncanny X-Men and never got on Twitter or said anything about it, or you know what I mean? It's
or how many people picked it up because everyone was griping about it?
Yeah.
I know David did. Yeah, I know.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, he knew we were going to talk about it.
It was a
knew
good
gonna be
issue,
big
man.
deal. It was
a good
awesome, dude.
I don't follow
great.
X-Men, but I do recognize that there in the past that the Mutant Metaphor has been used for racism, and in Marvel Comics, there's a very high prejudice against mutants, considering whole islands and whole nations pretty much genocide them.
Yeah.
So when you read this book and you look at it, and instantly, I don't think it's a transsexual issue because as already established, prejudice against mutants exist.
Sure.
And
well, it was those key words.
It was those key words that were there because I don't know if the art didn't portray it, but when Rain kind of gets up to walk away and she gets really forceful with the group of guys, she didn't transform necessarily, but she let her teeth show.
Yeah.
How did she get killed? How did she not take those 4 guys out?
She could have, but
she felt bad because she hurt one of them, and then the 4 of them beat her up.
I mean, that's the even deeper side of racism, where you feel like you're that much of the victim where you can't fight back. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's so much deeper in terms of societal racism, but I think that's so heavy that we couldn't even begin to scratch the surface of that.
The thing is,
and I don't know if Rosenberg even meant to. You know what I mean?
The thing is that X-Men has been rebooted so many times that the last time I had any idea that Wolfsbane was alive was way before this even happened. So you guys talk about it. And I'm like,
always living and dying. Yeah, X-Men are always living.
Everybody's always being brought back.
Let's just take it to the Major X way, and let's just reboot it back to the '90s Jim Lee. X-Men. How about that? Just boot it back to the crazy feed and action and all that craziness, and it'd be awesome.
We want to talk about the Avengers Endgame.
No, watch iZombie. And
okay.
Yeah. No, seriously, in this whole discussion, that first episode highly relates to what we just talked about. So watch iZombie if you can.
Season 3.
Yeah, final season.
I recorded the whole first season and never watched an episode.
5.
Oh, 5? Has it been that long?
Oh gosh, when did they start doing the whole Seattle was the zombie capital and all that? After
that's still happening.
Oh, man.
Okay,
you let them hijack it.
I'm behind.
You let them hijack it.
Oh, I was reading the live chat and debating saying something, and I'm like just gonna let it go. Okay, I like Ethan Van Sciver. Sorry. Love you guys.
I like his art. I got a Flash Rebirth with his autograph on it, and I love it.
Yep, it's 5 seasons.
All right, Avengers Endgame, $2.2 billion. How about that? Passes Titanic. Avatar is in its sights.
You're going down, James Cameron.
It's going down, bro.
It did it in 11 days, man. 11. I know people have seen it 6 times. It's insane.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What's crazy is how many people are going to watch it. And I'm like, I didn't even know that person liked superheroes or comics or movies. It's so much bigger than comic books. It's so huge.
It is
so huge. This conversation sucks. We had a good conversation.
We're still better. We're still better because we read the comics. The hell with all you movie posters.
I hate that. It's like
I do too, man.
It's like people that read comics like, you've only been reading comics for 3 years. Brr. It's like, do you not want us to read comics? Like,
I know.
Nobody new is allowed.
Hey, there's a whole free comic day that you can get in on.
Yeah.
No new readers allowed. Get out.
Exactly. Like David and his Magic the Gathering gatekeeper.
What the heck was that?
You shall not pass.
Yeah.
You don't have as many magic cards as I do.
Yeah, Gaumer.
No, Gaumer.
What's French Commander?
What's French Commander? What's Vanilla Commander, Gaumer?
Let's go. Forget it.
This is just as boring the second time around.
Hey, Endgame's awesome. Everybody should see it again.
War of the Realms number 3. The war rolls on. War of the Realms number 3, written by Jason Aaron, art by Russell Dowderman, colors by Matthew Wilson, letters by BC's Joe Sabino.
Joey Sabino.
So where are we on this thing? Thor was trapped in Jotunheim. Loki was eaten by his biological father. But dude, in Thor number 12, spoiler alert, he's actually still alive in the belly of the beast.
He's going to come out of his ass like Ant-Man from Thanos.
Yeah, but didn't his legs get chewed? Like, is he down there like Lieutenant Dan?
Hey, man.
Wait.
Hey, man.
Wait,
Lieutenant
We already knew this
Loki!
from the solicit,
Lieutenant
bro. We already
Loki!
knew this.
hold
All
on.
right.
Loki is living inside Luffy's tummy?
That's how Thor number 12 ended.
Dude, what?
Hey,
That's
man. I
ridiculous.
didn't write it.
I love
I'm
it.
telling you about it.
So he's gonna poop him out. Comics misexplained. He's gonna get pooped out.
Oh, God.
That'll be the first issue of Loki number 1. It'll be like Ace Ventura Pet Detective 2.
Right.
Not
like-
born, but shit into existence.
Oh my god.
Jeez, man. Come
Dude,
on.
that's what's happening.
Yeah, man.
man.
All right. So where we at on War of the Realms number 3?
I have no idea.
Last issue,
Oh.
and somebody told me I missed this, but I don't even remember it being how Daredevil got the sword. But I like seeing Daredevil with Heimdall in this issue, and he's got the sword, the God without fear,
Like this.
firing up the rainbow. What? Come on, man! Come on.
He can hear everything. It's awesome.
What?
There you go. I'll just let you hold that up while I talk about this. Dude, I love it. I love Daredevil being, and I get it. I get it if some people don't dig it, you know, and Daredevil with that sword, but I like it, man. I like it. But this book, they divide up, man, it really gets spread thin, but they divide up in 3 teams. You got Cap, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Luke Cage, Iron Fist going to Jotunheim to find Thor. And I really think they missed the boat with Thor number 12. Like, it was a cool issue with Loki, but I really wish we would have got Thor just ripping through hordes of frost giants. You know, we see it in this book, what he's been doing. I wish we could have seen just silent issue, just Thor just going nuts would have been awesome.
Right.
But then we got another team, Thor's mom assembles, and they're heading out to the land of the dark elves to shut down the Black Bit Frost. What is so funny, man?
My Frost.
Thor's mom's Avengers
His mama.
symbol.
That's what
It
he that's
is
what you
Thor's
did,
mom's
man. What do you
Avengers.
want me to say?
It's exactly what's happening.
It's got a map.
It's got a
Anyways,
map.
her
I
team
love
was.
a map.
God,
I
I
love
give
a
up.
map.
I give up. War of the Realms number 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Dude, this was good.
I didn't even make it through a third of the book.
At times, it felt like it was leaning a bit too hard into the other titles, like a commercial, you know. But I read it.
100%. You've got the 3 tie-ins.
Yeah, but
the
I read
Strike
it.
Force issues.
But I read it a second time, and it had a great balance to it. Really good pacing, awesome art, and just really cool action, cool character bits. Yeah, it was cool, dude.
Comics Misexplained says, wish we would get a whole book of Daredevil.
Give me
I
a whole
agree.
series. Give me a whole series of Daredevil.
That's what I wanted
doing
with
this.
that tie-in, man. The War Scrolls. And they turned it into an annual with 2 stories I don't care about and a little bit of Daredevil.
Yeah, he's by far the brightest part of this event so far for me.
So
Daredevil.
what's the deal with Venom?
Venom's going to become a little puppy dog for Malekith, is what I
thought that looked cool, though.
I did too. I think it looks nice. I think it looks neat. Malekith's just a badass. I didn't realize he was this badass. You know what I mean? Malekith.
So Venom was a giant, like this big monster that had a lot of stories. Like, I mean, wasn't there like a segment of Marvel where it was all about Venom? It was Venomized and Venom, and now he's just dumbed down to.
That's a Marvel event, and that's what Man Bear Pig says in the chat. I'm just hoping this event doesn't bleed into any of the regular monthlies, and that's the biggest mistake. Like the Strike Force issue, I was going to mention it here in a second, but I'll just say it here. The Dark Elf Realm that Brian Hill wrote was cool, man. It could have focused more on their mission because the War of the Realms just bounced around so much, right? Because you got so many characters. But that's what a tie-in should be. That's what they should do with every event. Have your 6-issue event, whatever you want to do. And then if you need tie-ins, make them separate so only people reading the event want it versus bringing in Fantastic Four and all this.
That's what they're doing, though, man. Every book gets a tie-in.
I know, but that's not fair.
It.
That's not fair to somebody
I don't like it.
reading that story. And like Fantastic Four, what is it? Just 1 issue is going to tie in? 1
or 2, yeah, something.
That's
silly.
a waste, man.
I think so too. I'm not picking it up. Like I said, there was a Champions number 5. It's War of the Realms tie-in. I didn't get it because I'm not reading War of the Realms, really. I'm just reading it because Boogie says I should.
Because I'm making you.
Yeah. And it was good, but
I am the owner, according to the Geekery Times News. I'm the owner of ComicCast.
Yeah.
I even wore this shirt in the article, man.
Yeah.
I wear the same shirt every day.
But yeah, I'm like a cartoon character. I wear the same stuff every day. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's good, but there's no way I'm buying all those tie-ins. I don't care how good it is.
But if you're enjoying it, buy it.
No, I'm not doing it. No.
It's too bad they can't put the same writer on everything.
They
And
could
then
if they really
maybe
wanted to.
Well, then maybe it would be a little bit more able to be understood.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
War of the Realms. 3 more issues.
Are you done with it? Are you
halfway there?
You're not enjoying it?
No, I'm enjoying it. It's just the things that I'm enjoying the most appear to be happening in the tie-ins that I've told myself I'm not allowed to buy. Yeah. I know. It seems so stupid. Remember I read Fantastic Four for like 12 issues and I hated every one?
Hey, I'm still reading it. So what does that say about me?
I know, right?
Jeez,
yeah.
I'm pathetic.
That's why you're like, dude, why won't you read these books that you're going to hate?
That's why I don't pay attention to you, Boogie.
Yeah, because the guy that enjoys it and won't read it, that's a perfect opinion.
Right.
Yep.
Deceased, #1.
Tom Taylor, Trevor Hairstein, Stefano Gaudiano, and James Herron doing the art. Rain Barreto with colors.
Burrito.
All the good ones end in O.
Burrito, not burrito. Burrito. Maybe I'm saying that wrong. Burrito?
No.
David will tell you.
Yeah,
Even though he doesn't, he says Dustin Nigel, but he'll correct me when I make a mistake.
Saida Timofonte on the letters.
I think you
man.
got one right and the other one not.
That sounded like
know,
your
right?
mouth just did acrobatics.
Saida Timofonte. I love that name. My new favorite letterer.
You can.
Some great covers.
It's not Nugan, dude.
Come on,
That's
man.
not how you
He's
pronounce
saying it
it.
like a can. He's saying it like it's an ingredient in a candy bar. It's not. It's not that.
It's win.
Yeah, it's win.
It's got caramel,
Yeah.
peanuts, and Dugan.
But I'm a nice guy. And I don't try to point out your mistake. But you love jumping on me, so say it right. You sound like a damn fool when you say it the wrong way.
Wait a minute, you're a nice guy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
some great
breaking news.
Some great covers for this. What cover? Did anyone get a cool? I got the normal regular cover.
I got the It cover, man. I felt like Adam. I got the It cover.
Nice.
I mean, they had a bunch. I got the It cover. They had a bunch of the covers.
Yeah.
A bunch
If
of
I
that.
hadn't have got the It cover, Adam would have said, I got the It cover. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
He
like.
so would have.
I didn't even like the It part. I just like the fact that it says you'll die too.
Oh,
Just
nice.
Hold that up, Adam. I thought it looked cool.
you'll die too. We all float down here, Robin.
Ah,
God.
that's great. That's great. Oh, I should review this.
No, I'm going to keep interrupting you like you guys did me, so you have to stop.
Comics Misexplained says it in here. It spread like the way stuff did in Final Crisis. That's good. In 2005, though, Marvel Comics published a story by Robert Kirkman and Sean Phillips, believe it or not, called Marvel Zombies. It was cool. And this has been called DC's Marvel Zombies, and I think that fits pretty well.
It wasn't like, Darkest Night or Blackest Night like DC Marvel Zombies?
Nah,
DC
not
Zombies?
really. It was different.
Blackest Night is holding up my laptop right now. I wish I could pull it out and prove that, but it really is.
I think
Do it so everything collapses.
Yeah.
Darkest Night
radio.
was more like Night of the Living Dead, where this is kind of like Marvel. Well, this is more like World War Z, maybe.
Or
Maybe.
28 days later.
Sure.
Hey, Gomer, do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, we open on Darkseid getting beat up by the Justice League, but in classic Darkseid fashion, he really just wanted to kidnap Cyborg,
I'm just a distraction.
which he does. On Apocalypse, Darkseid uses Cyborg, his half of the anti-life equation, and tries to get the full thing, but requires Death, aka the Black Racer, to keep Cyborg alive. And somehow this corrupts the equation, and it infects both Darkseid and Cyborg. Darkseid's homie sends Cyborg back to Earth while Darkseid goes nuts and destroys Apocalypse. And this is the source of the zombie outbreak. Cyborg shows up in Metropolis, and it's a technovirus of the anti-life equation that spreads through the internet, making people zombie crazy. And that's it. From there, we get some tropey opening, like a zombie outbreak where people are worried about their loved ones. We can spoil that if we want. Superman
goes to stop Jonathan and Lois and all that.
from answering the phone.
Yep.
Don't answer the phone. That's how it gets you.
Batman EMPs the Wayne Manor.
I thought that was so cool, though.
Oh,
When
it
he was
was
like,
rad.
"Oh, wait, dude, wait." It was
That
awesome.
was cool. But no, he doesn't make it in time because those Bat family are always on social media.
So I don't know.
Alfred's up there scrolling.
He is. He's Alexa. It was through Alexa.
Maybe but if you get scratched or something by one of these, you don't get infected.
I don't know. I think you may.
Batman gets bitten, and that's where it ends off on, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but that's the thing is like, do you have to be looking at the technology to get infected, or can they scratch you or bite you and you get infected also?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think if you get infected by the internet or by a bite by someone. Comics Misexplained, though, in the chat is reading my mind. The only problem I had was the art changes. Why you need so many artists on this? There's 3 artists on this.
Too. That first page that you were talking about with the Justice League and Darkseid and the Lasso of Truth looks so cool. And then you get to Cyborg and he looks like a freaking little cartoon character.
Because they all kept dying. Comics Misexplained.
It looked. Oh man,
I don't know what happened there.
I know you guys are shocked by this, but I love
it. It's a real life version of the Monty Python skit with the joke that's the most dangerous joke in the world. They can only make so many pages before they die.
Yeah,
I'll have to look. I've never seen that one.
I enjoyed the story, and Gomer saying it's the tropey start. I love the stuff with Superman. I love the stuff with Batman. I just liked it, man. But I like zombie movies.
I liked it that it was tropey, like a zombie movie. I thought that was good.
But
I like this too. But the art, ugh.
Typically for me, it's got to have a good story. Very rarely will I read a story just because it has great art and the story's not any good.
Yeah.
But this,
you just explained the 90s.
Yeah, right. I like this though, except for that art. They need to fix that.
That was a bit of a distraction.
Yeah, but I liked it otherwise.
Boogie, if you can read Black Hammer 44, then you can handle bad art.
Well, there's no such thing as Black Hammer 44, so
or 45 or
45,
whatever
46
it is.
or 47.
I know it's in.
But
40.
that's a style.
1979.
Matt Kent has a style, and it's consistent through the whole book.
Exactly.
And I'm fine with that. What I don't like is when you have this opening credits page that looks freaking amazing, and then you flip and Cyborg sitting there looking like
drippy, like he's falling apart. It's weird.
It's just not good.
Yeah, Teen Titans. That's actually good, dude. Finish that. It looked like kind of Teen Titans-ish, and I didn't like that either.
Yeah, it really did look Teen Titanish.
And if it would have been that would have been one thing, But the change,
right? Yes, that's the problem. If it had been that style through the whole thing, I would adapt to that.
Yeah, I agree.
Kelly Jones
and Beard Pig. Yep. I totally agree.
Kelly Jones for this. Yeah,
Kelly Jones. That's
Kelly
just fun
Jones,
to say. I like it. Kelly Jones.
Anybody else got anything to say about Deceased?
I'm anxious to finish reading it to see where it goes.
I'm on. I'm gonna.
I hope it takes full advantage. Are you on, Adam?
Yeah.
Nice.
I enjoyed the first Marvel Zombies.
Me too, a whole lot.
But I feel like Marvel ran that into the ground.
They did.
They never. I don't even think they fully explained, unless it was in one of those Marvel Zombies 5 or something, when they explained where the Marvel zombie virus, how it was created and where it came from.
Was explained in a crossover with the Army of Darkness and Marvel Zombies.
I thought it was, but it wasn't. But I mean, in that it was only that the Sentry showed up and attacked because he was infected. But how did he get infected?
Because that was in the Ultimate FF thing. Ultimate Fantastic Four.
No, this is after that.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Because Doom actually, that's where the Marvel Zombie Universe was introduced. Originally was in Ultimate Fantastic Four number 21, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that's where the Zombie Fantastic Four happened.
I know that first one by Kirkman and Phillips is amazing. It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Great ending too.
Yeah. So if this is going to be on par, then I'm all for DC's zombie story.
And this is sort of an Elseworlds thing. This isn't messing with any continuity. So
yeah,
this is right up your alley, Adam.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep up.
It's right up.
We don't have to worry about it affecting the continuity. That's great.
Yeah. Until it does. Until they decide it.
Until they decide DC Deceased crosses over with Earth 1.
That's what Doomsday Clock's all leading to. This is what they were waiting on.
In 2042, we'll find out.
Yeah. What's next?
Year of the Villain.
Year of the Villain.
Ba, 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 ba.
Half the people just left the live chat.
No, they didn't. They started dancing. Who doesn't like jock jams?
They
Get out
don't
of
like
here,
you,
Boogie.
dude. They like
Get outta
jock
here,
jams. They just don't like you.
Jock jams.
Who doesn't love jock jams?
Whatever.
All right, DC's Year of the Villain, written multiple writers, written by Scott Snyder, James Tynion the fourth, woo, and Brian Michael Bendis.
You don't have to say it like that.
What, disappointed? Art by Jim Chung, Tamei Mori.
Toe.
Shush. Alex Maleev and Francis
Nugan. Did Dustin
Metaphor.
Nugan do this one?
Nugan.
Letters by Tom Napolitano and Joshua Reed. So
Comics
this book,
Misexplained says Year of the Villain replaced Doomsday Clock for the future of DC.
Yeah.
never Doomsday Clock will never be replaced ever.
Yeah, because it'll never finish.
You know
They're never
why?
gonna
You know
come
why
out.
Comics Misexplained? Because it's going to live on in here.
It's trying to get
In
Eisner
here.
Award for Best Series 3 years in a row.
Somebody
Dude,
found out Adam actually likes a comic, and they're like, "We got to shut that down."
At one of the shops I went for free comic book day, they actually had the two figures of one of them had I forget who the one figure, but it had the mime in there, and it was, I think they had $50 on it, and it would have been like 20% off or something of that. But I was too cheap. I couldn't pull the trigger on it. But Year of the Villain, we got 3 chapters in this book. It's Doom, Leviathan, and Justice. So book opens. We got Amanda Waller going to the White House. She's going to warn the president about Lex Luthor, but finds Lex Luthor sitting in the president's chair along with the Legion of Doom, and they attack Waller. Because who doesn't want to attack Waller?
Mm-hmm.
But they're the ones that can get away with it.
Yeah. Later, we find Lex in Metropolis at his headquarters. We find out he's liquidated all of his stuffs and his monies, and he's given it all to all the villains across the world for them to use. He's researched it and given them exactly what they need in order to beat their respective hero.
Hooray!
Yay!
Outsourcing. Open source
Outsourcing at its
villainy.
finest. This is Lex, and then it looks like Lex appears to kill himself by blowing himself up. And this whole thing's a master plan perpetuated by Perpetua, who is the mother of the multiverse. They're seeking a war. She's seeking a war between justice and doom in a world. Then we cut to Green Arrow and Batgirl running around investigating the terrorist group Leviathan. And then we get Batman, who intends to gather all of the Justice League, all of them.
We're going to war.
We're going to war.
That was a cool page. That was a cool 2-page spread, though.
Yeah, that was a nice splash. I felt splashed.
Me too. I got all wet.
It's like a nesty plunge into colors and art, if you will.
Yes.
How descriptive of you.
And then Damien thinks, of course, that Leviathan might be Red Hood.
Which means it's obviously not.
Oh, obviously, yeah. Of course, it's Red Hood. That's about it.
Can we get to the meat of what all this is, really?
Marketing. It's marketing. That's all it is.
It's the commercial.
I liked how all 3 of these chapters, all 3 of these are almost like tie-in comics, but this was all in one comic. You pull one thread, it's all tying together for the same story.
It's like
it's
a zero
really not.
issue.
It's one. It goes for Justice League. One goes to the Superman Leviathan event.
Yeah, but it all ties together.
Yeah, Comics Misexplained, you're right. Yeah. When Green Arrow's issue ended on number 50, I think they were all really mad at him for having that thing that John gave him. But yeah, I didn't read the whole series, just the last one. Anyway, there's like 20 books, 20 tie-ins, but they're not tie-ins. They're just the regular issue of whatever series, Action Comics or Superman or Batman. And then in the end, they're going to have what, 3 or 4 page stories. That is the offer from Lex Luthor. That's what's happening, right? And I got to buy 120
I guess.
issues.
I assume I can see that.
That's a lot.
Maybe I'm not seeing it.
Everything that went on in this book, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, because that's what's going on in Justice League with Lex Luthor. Yep.
That's what's going on in Batman.
Okay, well, here's Action Comics. Yeah, that's what's going on in Action Comics. Leviathan's coming. We know that. That's the event that's about to come out. I like it because it's it's free. I got it for free.
I had to pay $0.25 for it.
A quarter. Audrey gets a quarter too. But I don't know. Like, I guess it works because Adam's not reading any of this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, this was cool. This is fun." But for it to really work, Adam would have to say, "Now I want to go read Justice League
or Batman or Leviathan, yeah,
or Action Comics." Yeah.
Are you going to do that, Adam?
No.
There you go,
dude. You're going to read at least the first issue of Leviathan because we're going to be talking about
25 cents turning into how much every week or every 2 weeks?
$50.
I mean, that's
if you're reading all of it.
I can appreciate them attempting to do that as a business that wants to make money. I can appreciate that, but I'm not going to do it.
That's the whole point of it.
I can appreciate it. But
what I can't say is that the way this book is, I like it.
Laugh. This makes
go ahead. I like how it gave me all. It was like normally they want to put tie-in book. And you're spending all this money. This gave me like chapters
from the comics that you should be reading. You liked it because it was a quarter.
I liked it because
it Justice League
put it all into one book that
for a quarter. Just say it. You're cheap, and it was a quarter.
No, if it was $3.99, if this was a monthly thing for $3.99, I would get it.
Then read Justice League for $3.99 a month.
It was convenient. It had the story.
It was a quarter.
Going.
You cheap SOB.
I'm telling you why, and it's not because it was a quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're telling me that you enjoyed it, right? You enjoyed it.
Right, but I'm not going to go and have to buy a bunch of different books.
You don't have to. Oh. What was your favorite? Which one was your favorite?
The whole thing is the story. It all ties together.
He's saying that it ties together in the way that it's the year of the villain and everything is tying in. Like Lex Luthor is actually orchestrating what Bane is doing.
Know. Yeah, I know.
And I understand that.
And it's in one
but yeah, that's not what this
book.
Is.
But the story's not going to continue like that.
Exactly. So I'm not going to read it.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. I'm so frustrated with you right now. I understand I understand what you're saying, but you're talking about a story that you enjoyed. Freaking read Justice League. It's so good. But you
Justice League is great.
Comics. You don't want to read.
Will that give me the whole story?
No, because you'd also probably, as far as this issue is concerned, this 25-cent Year of the Villains is suggesting that you also have to read Batman for the Bane stuff and Leviathan, because what you're enjoying is the consistent thread that Lex Luthor is overseeing all of these things happening. And then you have to read 20 other times, like Comics Misexplained said, of all the little 3-page stories that are going to happen throughout DC's entire line.
But I don't think you have to do that. I think you can read the story you want to read. If you're reading Batman, then you can read Batman. And if they're going to do 3 pages at the end that kind of tells you how it ties in, who cares what's going on in Action Comics and Justice League?
I don't want to miss cool stuff.
That's FOMO. You and me. We buy everything.
FOMO would be the only reason why I would buy all 20 of those. And there's no way I can do it. There's no way I can.
It frustrates me to no end when you say you like something and then you won't read it.
You say it as if it's one thing.
No, it's three different comics.
Boom!
So you liked all 3. Buy all 3, man.
I don't want to buy all 3.
I know that's the problem because you're cheap and this was a quarter.
No, because
that's the truth. It's the freaking truth.
I have ADD and get confused easily. Having something conveniently in one book that ties it all together helps me understand. It's convenient to me.
Yeah, Boogie.
Breaking out the ADD to make everybody feel sorry for him.
That's what it
make
is.
me the bad guy.
Like in the live chat, they were talking about legacy numbering and about the Venom. It's like, well, Venom disintegrated in this. Is that the same Venom that's in Savage Avengers? That's going to be in that. It's
I don't know.
with that bouncing all around. When I hear that, it's like, well, my brain can't keep up with that.
I understand that. Like, it's hard to read Action Comics and Superman at the same time if they're because they were two completely different stories. You know, I get that, but we'll just drop it. I just wish Justice League is not a book for you to read if you get confused easy, because it is so complex.
I'm confused.
No, my favorite comic recently was Wrong Earth. A very easy concept to follow.
It's true.
And a good story.
That's 10.
All you need.
We got 10 in the live chat, guys. Jump over, smash the like button for us, share out the link. And if you think Adam should read all 3 of these books, put a 1 in the comments.
Put a 1 in the comment. Make him read those books.
Well, up your no.
Man Bear Pig said ADD representation in an X-Men book.
He's right. The metaphor isn't good enough anymore.
I love it.
Yeah, we need
somebody's on the spectrum.
Let's talk about Gogor.
That's why I like Mask.
Gogor.
Yeah, Nugan did the art on this, right, David?
Yeah, Nougat.
No, he did not do the art on this. Nougat, no.
The guy in.
So
nobody's putting 1 in the chat except for me, Adam. You're safe.
I'll do it.
Yay. All I want to know is what I just want to follow the Batgirl story. I just let that in.
Oh, shut up, Henry, and you're valiant.
Gogor #1. Written and drawn by, and let's see, lettered and colored by Ken Gehring.
Kenny G.
That dude's got a lot of duties.
He does have a whole lot of duty.
Yeah. Well, when you do everything, you have full creative control.
Everything.
It's a lot of work, though.
Yep.
I do mean everything.
This is kind of an interesting story. I like the art. Very interesting concepts going on in here. Has a very colonial, Mesoamerican kind of feel to it with the artwork and some of the characters. We have a young man that's being chased by, I think it's the Dominus guys, I believe they're called. They're basically these armored soldiers on dung beetles, and he's running away from them on riding a giant mole rat looking creature. What it is his island has been invaded by these Dominus guys, and they've demanded that his island, I guess, pay swear loyalty, fealty to them, and the people are like, no. And the elder gives the boy a scroll, and this is why these guys are chasing him. The scroll is to be taken to a place called the Green Hill or Green Mound.
I found my thrill
on Blueberry Hill. But I liked the artwork was very well done, well paced, a lot of action, motion kind of thing, kind of very manga feel to it. But the boy encounters another traveler, and the best way I could probably describe him is kind of a bird person, maybe a lizard bird person. Offers
just
up
random fantasy character.
It's the Krinko or whether they are from D&D.
Yeah, it's just rando.
But this guy kind of takes him to a place, a supplier that can give him supplies to where he needs to go to
do his business.
Do his business. And the pretty much he's introduced to a whole group of characters, Rainbow Beard Man, a musician. No, literally, this guy's has a rainbow beard.
Yeah, I don't think that was his name though.
I know it's his name's Ogden.
That'd be convenient.
Yeah,
his mother knew what was up.
Yeah, and had to talk. But we get to the greenhouse, and the boy recites the scroll. He's done it several times and nothing happens. And then they discover that there's a magic seed inside the scroll,
Yeah.
And as he discovers this and plants it in the ground, the Dalmas show up. He being roughhoused by the Dalmas and recites the scroll, and Gogor shows up.
Jeez, oh Pete, you guys are so rude to each other.
Gogor.
The thing is I don't care.
Shut up, Boogie.
Nugan.
I just don't
Nougat.
care. I'll say it.
Nougat.
Guywin.
Gogor.
Gogor.
He's a Jolly Green Giant.
He is the Jolly Green Giant. He looks like a cross between Swamp Thing and the Hulk.
Yeah.
And that's where the book kind of ends off. But we have this like really interesting little soapbox thing called Notes from the Underground, where Ken Garing kind of tells us about the background story behind Gogor, where it come from, the influences. And so I'm kind of interested to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, me too. Gogor.
Gogor.
Gosh,
very good.
you're saying it different ways.
It's Gogor.
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 It's
Gogor.
thick like a tree and leave.
I'm going to call it Gogor.
I liked it. I
Gogor.
like this book. I thought it, it has some interesting ideas, concepts in it.
Yeah.
The art was really well done. I'm willing to pick up issue 2 to see where it goes.
I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said.
Thank you.
It did a really good job of world building with not really doing much world building,
Oh yeah,
I was involved. I knew what was going on. And,
mysterious
good.
floating islands in the
Yeah.
sky. Kind of has that nod to, or another nod to like Extremity.
Sure.
But I'm willing. I kind of felt like like I said earlier, there's kind of like the hero or protagonist has this Mesoamerican kind of look to him. And there's obviously some kind of like metaphors for like the New World colonialism,
Sure.
kind of. What did you think about it, Boogie?
I didn't read it, bro. I just made you read it. Remember?
I know.
Can we skip the Transformers click?
I like the how I feel like they took extra time in the panels in this book. Sometimes, like, it wasn't necessary for them to show those multiple panels with the floating islands, but they did anyway.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, so I like how they kind of, although there was action, there were beats happening, I feel like they took their time with the panels and showing you the world so that you knew where you were in the book with the character.
Show you the world.
And the thing at the end where he talks about where Gogor came from.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like that was a throwback to older when books used to do. I don't feel like books do that a lot now.
Sure. Yeah.
Like an old Silver Age book where they introduced Beano, the colossal bean monster and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
And I thought Gogor had a head like Boof. Remember Boof from Image?
No.
Oh,
Boof.
then never mind. Moving on.
Oof.
Random reviews presented by Collar and Elbow Brand. Check them out online at collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code ComicCast at checkout to save 10% on all of the latest and greatest professional wrestling merchandise you could possibly want. All the links are in the description. The only thing I'm going to mention is Justice League number 23. It was great. Batman has this huge decision. Superman is just gone out of the equation. And then the way that Legion of Doom shows up at the end, the 6th Dimension story arc's just been so good. Jorge Jimenez on the artwork is just fantastic. Like he hashtag my Superman artist. I love the way he draws, not only Superman, but John also.
Yeah.
Man, just a good issue. Such a good issue.
There's a moment in here where the Justice League are tied up with power dampening handcuffs and they're all running away. And Flash is like, hey, hold up, guys. Slow down, guys. Let me keep up, man. Just love everything about it. Batmite, yes. And they explain Batmite. Why Batman and Superman have what, 5th dimension? I guess that's
yeah.
counterparts. Just so much minutia, but action. And going from place to place. There's like you said, 3 different things going on. Batman, Superman, and the rest of the league. And it's all just engaging and just weird and perfect. I love it. Lois Lane's got a great speech in here. It's wonderful, dude. I can't
remember where I saw it. This is Jorge Jimenez's story. Like he's the one that pitched it to Snyder.
Good.
And I don't know if you noticed it, but it says story is by both of them.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's just Great.
This
So
is
good.
so
Justice
good.
League's been good anyway, but this is the best story arc they've done.
Yeah. And it's just a whole twist on the whole Lex Luthor thing, the Legion of Doom showing up in this other dimension that they're sort of in. It just adds another layer to the whole story of what is Lex's master plan, because that's the whole year of the villain. That's the offer. That's everything is what Lex is doing in Justice League. So it's super important.
Do you think something is up with Batman? For him to be willing to sell out Superman that easy? He's kind of like, okay, well, I can't talk to him. Sorry, man. Sorry.
It's got to be he's looking for a leg up. I don't believe for a second that he's going to sell out all of existence just to go the safe route. You know what I mean? He could do that now. He could murder. It's pretty much murdering everyone. One universe is going to fall onto another one and take it over. That's what they're talking about doing in this book.
Like the Ultimate Universe did.
It's like the way the World Forger explained it is that they're in the future right now. And that future is going to come to the present and take over the present. And he's hoping that some people who look don't notice that some of that time is missing. So I don't know, dude. But man, it's wonderful. It's so good.
So good. So
come on,
such a good
Batman.
story.
Don't let me down, Batman.
Take over the present.
Yes, cheers
so
to
you're
comics.
saying it's a gift.
Yeah, Brian over there, Cheers to Comics. Best issue of JL so far. I think I have to agree. It was really good. I like this a lot.
Would you read, David?
Mm-hmm. I picked up the only book I'm going to talk about is 5 Years #1.
Terry Moore.
Terry Moore's 5 Years #1. When Gaumer told me that this was a combined universe of all Terry Moore's properties, it was just like, what? Because some of them are so out there that, there's no way that Strangers in Paradise and Echo are connected. There's no way that Rachel Rising and Motor Girl are connected. And then here it is. They're all connected.
David's head exploded.
It did. It blew up.
He needed new pants all at the same time.
And it's all he's talked about for a week.
Yeah.
But the book starts off with probably one of the more interesting openings I've seen in a while. We have what is maybe reminiscent of like the Sarah Connor dream from Terminator 2, where like she's looking at, a much happier life with her and John. The nuke goes off. And this is kind of how Kat is looking at it. They're on I'm thinking this is Hawaii. They're on the beach in Hawaii. Yeah. And she's talking about, here I am at this beautiful place, and I know that the world only has 5 years left because, somebody's developed a bomb that's greater than the hydrogen bomb called the pi bomb. And the pi bomb destroys molecules of hydrogen.
Phi bomb. Like Phi Beta Kappa. Phi. PHI.
Phi. Yeah, Phi. I think.
Well, you said pi. A pi bomb sounds awesome.
A pi bomb sounds awesome.
I can go for a pi bomb.
My Greek is rusty. My Greek is rusty. So the Phi bomb. And the Phi bomb.
He said that, and it made sense because I was thinking pi as in the number. So the bomb.
Yeah.
There you go.
3.14.
Going on and on and on and on and on.
What this bomb would do is it would make all the hydrogen atoms in the universe spontaneously combust.
And that's all the hydrogen in the ground, the water, and the animals, the air, then the sun.
Yeah, everywhere.
Everything that contains hydrogen goes poof.
Even hydrogen peroxide?
Even hydrogen peroxide.
Especially Blondie.
But there's but there's this dream, and she's watching Francine and the kids playing on the beach, and she sees the explosion coming, and as she reaches out, her children disintegrate, and then she disintegrates, and it's reminiscent of that scene from Terminator 2, and it's beautiful. It's well done, and Terry Moore does this terrific artwork to tell that story. And then she wakes up from the bad dream, and she has a talk with
oh my
the mother.
Gosh. You should have taken better notes.
I should have taken better notes. I'm actually flipping through the book right now. Just kind of.
He's reading it for the first time. Right now.
I'm not reading it for the first time.
And then on the third page.
Yeah.
But there's a long discussion about all the happiness and such, and what can we do to make the nightmares go away. And this kind of continues on. Kat gets up, and she's has a cigarette, and then one of the girls is planning out the future wedding and all that, and I don't want you smelling like an ashtray. but it's a lot of a very, very human element. And then we meet the first character from another Terry Moore story in Outside of Strangers of Paradise. We meet the girl from, and I haven't read Motor Girl, so I don't know her name. Yeah. But we meet her, and she's now the bodyguard for Francine and Kat. And that's where it kind of ends off, was like, the world's coming to an end, and the gorillas come back to help me out, and I'm going to do what I can to help out these folks. And
should be something.
It's
exactly what I expected it to be.
Even Larry was like at Comic City 2. He's like, what is this? I'm like, it's Terry Moore. And it's like all the Terry Moore stories are in a connected universe. And Larry was like, I did not know that.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to have to pick that up.
It's good.
Yeah.
I love Terry Moore's art, and these characters are good.
So the accompanying story to this is the whole little bit of Inspector Gadget.
You guys are gonna love
Boogie's gonna love this, because
what, you're gonna love my
you're gonna love this.
He didn't believe you,
but
Boogie's checked out.
I just woke up.
Boogie,
I was trying to dial us back into an hour and a half, but it ain't happening.
Boogie.
Come on, Jiu-Jitsu man.
I was not happy that I had to review Gogor. I wanted to review
5 years.
5 years.
Blame God.
5 years. Well, is the 5 years still going though?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It is.
I thought he was on the third book.
The reason why I was given that we can't review 5 years instead of Gogor is because you said you couldn't get it. So guess what I did? Just to make sure, I called Dwayne's World.
He called Dwayne's. To see if he had a copy.
Oh, Boogie, you are the father. If he had a copy, why would you not have told me that? And I would have got it.
He's gonna force it upon you.
Well, I didn't speak to Dwayne, but who I did speak to was like, "Oh, we don't have that, but we can order it. Do you want me to order a copy?" I'm like, "Nah, don't worry about it."
Exactly. That's the whole point. I can order it. I can order it ahead of time, but when we're picking the book of the week of, I can't get it in time.
Exactly.
So I could have bought it digitally though. But you're acting like it's just me. Adam, could you get it, Adam?
No, I actually looked on the rack to see if it was there, and I honestly don't think my shop even got it unless you ask them to order it for you.
Right. Yeah. And by the way, David, point your fingers at Gaumer. He's the one that said we can't review that, bro.
I knew you guys weren't going to get it.
I'm shocked you were able to get it, David.
Yeah,
Our
shop orders more abstract for some reason.
Larry likes abstract.
Yeah, because the shop owner happens to like the publisher. There you go.
Yeah, I'd never have to ask the shop to anything. Usually Marvel, DC, unless it's like an up there number. If it's number 1, I don't even worry about it because I know they're going to have tons of it.
Right.
But to me, I'm willing to go to other comic shops to find the book I need.
Oh, see, Boogie's putting you on blast.
Well, I'm not going to drive 30 minutes away.
No, you're going to drive an hour. You're going to drive an hour to go get this vague comic book.
I drive an hour just to pick up my comic books.
Yeah, Boogie.
I got 2 to 3 shops I can go to if I'm looking for something, and I've had to do that before.
This took a strange turn.
It did.
I love it.
What's on Gaumer's file?
Is the 5 years done?
The 5 years is done now.
Is your review done?
The review was 5 years.
Shut up.
I didn't think you finished the review.
I'm definitely picking up issue 2.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, for another 5 years.
When I called Dwayne's World and have him put it in your box for you.
Is this like how many issues in this series?
We don't know yet.
Oh, Adam's gonna all of a sudden read it now.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, it sounds great, David. Your 5 year long review got me involved in 5 years."
Thank you.
Punisher number 11, Rosenberg Kudansky. I think this is still my favorite Marvel comic. This one was way over the top. The art and design work continued to be amazing. It ended the first arc. All right. I think this arc. Yeah, this might be the first full arc. It might be like an 11-issue arc. Anyway, Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 number 1. This is nuts. Adam, I can't believe you're not reading this. This is Ninja Turtles DC Amalgam.
When I see, well, I saw that part where they're combining the characters.
It's rad.
I did see that, but I kind of thought with it being part 3 of this Batman Ninja Turtles,
I don't think you need it.
That maybe it would have been Turtles, like the 3rd movie that came out, where
Turtles in Time,
where they're in feudal Japan.
No, it's nothing like that.
I was not expecting it to be like it was. I kind of thought it was going to be like a continuation of the first 2 miniseries. But when you got all these, all the Ninja Turtle characters were basically
Bat Family.
Robin, Nightwing,
Red Hood. Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I liked it as well. Batman number 70, Tom King, Michael Janin. The first in the Fallen the Fall and the Fallen arc. But Batman maybe still be having a nightmare. This is sort of weird, the pacing. It's like he got out of the nightmare machine, but the way he was going through this gauntlet of his villains, just talking shit on Bane the whole time was just weird. Like it was still a dream.
I know what this is. This is a hallucination that Bruce Wayne Batman is having after he got bit in Deceased.
Maybe.
That's what this is.
Star Wars Age of Rebellion, Han Solo, Greg Pak, Chris Sprouse. Still just a simple, good Star Wars story. Han Solo being the good-hearted scoundrel. Chewbacca kind of being the angel on his shoulder, telling him what to do.
Did you get a little sad? Did you get a little sad when you opened that first page and saw Chewbacca?
I did.
Yeah,
With the passing of Peter Mayhew just last week. Yeah, dude, I did.
Oh, are you reading these too, David?
No.
Okay, but you got teary-eyed when you flipped to the first page. Thanks for your input.
I was teary-eyed because Peter Mayhew died.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a different story.
The Age of One-Shots have been very, very good. I figured with today being Revenge of the Sith or Revenge of the Sixth or whatever.
Revenge of the Fifth.
Whatever day it is. I was calling it Star Trek Day yesterday.
Yes, you
were. No.
That is now August 19th, everybody.
I did that. Someone said happy May the 4th, and I did this.
Yeah, it's the Vulcan sign.
Yep.
Yeah.
It would be funny if Star Trek was cool, but it sucks.
Oh, here we go, Andy Griffith again. Matlock on the scene.
Hey,
does anybody in the chat not like Andy Griffith? I mean, come on.
In the words of Spock, live long and go F yourself.
I don't think he said that.
In the mirror verse, he did.
Yeah. But man, I read a few other things, but that's all.
You gotta nip it in the butt, Andy.
Adam, I really think you would dig that Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He doesn't care. He's not going to read
check it out.
Oh, of course you will, because Gomer said it. Gomer told him to read Justice League.
Yeah.
But he won't like Justice League, and I can honestly say, dude, you're not going to like Justice
forgot
League.
I got these, too. I know I said I didn't have anything, but I'm not going to talk about them, but Kickstarters.
Except for this one moment.
Kickstarters, Ruthless. I got those in the mail. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
I backed Cyberfrog on Indiegogo. Come at me, bro.
That's all right. Do it.
I love saying that and pissing people off.
Ethan Van Sciver needs another new house.
What's wrong with that, man?
There's nothing wrong with that.
It'd be like all of a sudden we get all these followers and we make a bunch of money on this podcast.
It'd be
different to spend it, though.
3 Indiegogos and one 88-page issue later. I'm not sure it was all worth it, but
it was for him, dude. That's how business works.
It was for him, but I'm just not sure it was worth for the fans.
How do you know?
I don't. I'm just saying me as a fan.
Because you don't like Ethan Van Sciver.
No, I love Ethan Van Sciver. Like I said, I have a signed Flash Rebirth from him and Jeff Johns. So they're Boogie.
He's just a human sunbeam. Let's talk about the outright geekery. Book of the week.
Book of the week. Oh man, I thought we were out on the
OutRightGeekery.com. Check it out. Your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. OutRightGeekery.com. I hear the owner's a real jerk.
He is an a-hole. I hate him.
Bet he's never been in the paper.
Oh, that's right.
Because I'm famous.
He's famous.
Go for it.
Hey, did you hear? Did you hear about the owner of Outright Geekery?
He's terrible.
Oh man,
I hate him. I really do. I'm my own worst enemy.
Aren't we all, sir?
Jerry Dugan.
Is Gomer waiting? I was going to say, is Gomer waiting on somebody else to talk about
Savage Avengers #1? Jerry Duggan. Mike Deodato Jr. Frank Martin on the colors and letters by VC's. Travis Lanham.
Thank you, Travis.
Landing it to the ham.
This is Mike Deodato's last title at Marvel Comics. He's moving on.
Oh, that makes me so. It makes me sad and happy at the same time.
He's moving on to a Dark Horse title called Berserker Unbound with, wait for it, Jeff Lemire.
Boom, shakalaka.
August 7th.
For you is like a berserker.
That was Aubrey Citizen's big news. This book's coming out. Anyway, the debut issue stems out of that weekly Avengers No Road Home weekly event thing where Conan joined the Avengers somehow. I didn't follow that, but he wound up in the Savage Land at the end of there. That's where the Hand is sacrificing very talented people, quote unquote, to have enough blood to satisfy some big bad demon. But who cares? Because it was all about the action. The fighty fight in this is just amazing. I don't even really care what's going on in the story. I guess the story is kind of cool. But for the art alone, yeah, dude, this book is off the chain. I loved it. I could have read 30 pages of just Conan and Wolverine kicking each other's asses. I had a great time.
Just having a talk about like the best L.
Yeah, it was great. I had a great time with this. Yeah, that's all I got, man. That's it.
We even get. I know we even get Conan. Conan says Conan says bub in it at one point.
He does. Yeah, like a ... bub.
Yeah.
Funny, good dialogue, just an all-around wonderful comic. Exactly what was promised. A bunch of Avengers just being mean, and then they hint Punisher joining at the cliffhanger. So, yeah, I'm all bored until Mike Deodato leaves.
Okay, since I don't follow it, it was kind of a weird thing because Conan's like, I didn't know Conan was in another Avengers book, and then like he says I met up with the Avengers and I left them, and now I ended up here, and Wolverine's like, that seems like an Avenger thing to do.
Don't think about it too hard, Don't
I know, but for what it was, you got to see Conan and Wolverine fight, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, Brother Voodoo shows up. He's a favorite of mine, and he's got a cool moment, even though it's off panel.
Doesn't the demon from the story that the guy's telling, doesn't it kind of look like a Venom symbiote?
It could be like the Null sort of symbiote. With Venom coming into it, that might be the way they bring Venom in. So, yeah, possibly. Good eye, man. Good looking out.
I did read it.
Don't sound so taken aback.
I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself.
I think Marvel's losing their best artist. I really do.
It's hard to say, amazing. But he is. You're right. He's
so good,
amazing.
Man.
He's going to make some money off this Berserker book with Jeff Lemire.
The bad thing about this week is Savage Avengers and Deceased both. I didn't pull them. I just ordered the first issue because reading the previews, I thought I don't really care about either one of these books, and I love them both. I love both comics, and now I don't know if I want to just grab the trades or if I want to read the whole thing monthly.
I think they'll both read better in trades. I know Deceased will look better on a shelf, and you're going to get all of those variant covers. Savage Avengers, the first arc, might just getting the Deodato stuff. Yeah, it might be worth it too.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm happy he's going. I'm happy he's going to a Jeff Lemire book, especially with this art. This gets me excited for everything he's going to do later.
Has he announced anything else or just that Lemire book?
Just that Lemire book so far.
Isn't that like a Conan type character in modern day?
I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, like a fish out of water sort of barbarian in the modern day story.
Kind of like Birthright.
Kind of like
a little bit different, but
Crocodile Dundee too.
There you go. Well, the first Crocodile Dundee.
Revenge of the Nerds.
The last half of the Crocodile Dundee movie.
Yeah.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I don't think we're adding much to that. I'm rating it $3.99. Perfect.
Me too.
Perfect issue, man.
Perfect issue. Exactly as promised. Lots of action, and that's all I wanted. I don't even care who's writing this. I don't care about the story. I just want more action.
$3.99.
$3.99. Let's make it a sweet.
It's unanimous.
Oh wow, a perfect comic book.
It's amphibious.
New comic book day.
It's ambidextrous.
May the 8th. David, give me one book you're excited about.
One book I am excited about.
That's not on the book of the week poll.
He always does this, and
not
I don't
on
know.
You know why? Because last week I didn't, and you freaking rattled off Savage Avengers.
You did.
Did I?
You did. It's been recorded for prosperity or prosperity, something.
Hold on.
No, then why do this? Why open yourself up to that possibility of the book of the week being?
Because the book of the week one is the only one I have pulled up. So let me go back
Oh,
here.
See what you do. See what you do. When
Adam, what's something you're excited about this week?
I'm excited about Ice Cream Man,
Good
number 12.
I
I
thought
believe
you were
it
going to
is.
talk about alternate comics.
Well, I mean, there is
A
slew of alternate comics. We got the debut issue of Mighty Mascots number 1. We also have Midnight Mystery number 4. It came out on Wednesday number 6. In case you missed it, number 4 and Exilium number 5 by Alternate Comics.
There you go.
I heard that Mighty Mascots has the Kool-Aid Man, but he's not the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah,
What is he? The Hot Aid Man?
Yeah, what is the
Flavor Aid.
Yeah, Flavor Aid Man. I was trying to-
Flavo Aid?
Oh my gosh, what is
Flavor Aid Man.
Flavor Aid is like
No Flavor
knockoff.
It's generic Kool-Aid. Yeah, it's like
Kool-Aid.
Hydrox.
But
I
it's
never
also
saw Flavor Aid.
Flavor Aid is what Jonestown used to poison its.
Oh, here he
people.
goes. Oh my goodness.
Have
so
you-
it's the
have you-
one guy who's not on camera with duct tape over his
Have you
webcam.
never been to a Winn-Dixie or a Piggly Wiggly Boogie? Huh? Huh?
Gomer.
One book that's not the pick. It's odd. I'm gonna go with Jim Henson's Storyteller Sirens number 2 from Boom Studios. I really like the first issue of this. It was cool. So I'm anxious to pick up the second one. May have been the creative team on that first book. Jacob Rebelka did the art on it. I really loved him on a book called Judas. This has like a rotating team. So it's going to be a different writer and artist on this.
American Mythology also has Three Stooges in Astronauts number 1.
Nice. I love the Stooges.
What are you, a couple of wise guys?
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Why I oughta?
David, did you find a book?
Yeah, Excellence number 1.
Oh, nice. Nice. I can't believe that's not on our poll.
That's for Image. I saw it and I just didn't feel like putting it on the poll.
I can't remember. I remember looking at it and I don't even remember what it was about now.
It's like
The
super people.
It's basically that magic exists in the world,
Yes.
but
That's where
But,
they lost me. As soon as I saw the word magic, I closed the window.
Harry Potter. Harry.
We got Magic, A Secret Society, Black Magicians, Following the Footsteps, Better Future. It was like,
Mm.
a lot of stuff.
it's like,
going on.
what do you think I am reading Justice League? I
A
don't
lot
need
of
all
complex
this.
flavors grunting up in here.
Oh my gosh. All right, that's it. Did you pick one book?
No. I guess I would say Black Hammer Age of Doom. Or,
There you
dude,
go.
did you see they added an issue to Batman Who Laughs? Why are they
Yes.
doing that?
Yeah.
Just
They're
to-
gonna, because there's gonna be like an ongoing after that. I think they're opening up for whatever, because it's Year of the Villain. They're gonna do another Batman Who Laughs book, so they're adding that issue to set up the one coming after that.
And isn't Batman Who Laughs going to be in that Batman Superman book Joshua Williamson's writing?
Yeah.
That might be what's getting set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that looks
Right.
awesome.
It's Joshua
Actually,
Williamson, man.
oh my
do you know who's
gosh.
doing the art on that?
I don't even know.
All
It looks rad though.
right, Book of the Week poll for this week. You can follow us on Twitter at ComicCastPod and cast your vote. I'm going to go tweet it out here in just a second. Leave us a note here in the chat. Let us know what you're excited about this week.
Yeah,
But
what are you reading this week?
I'm going to ramble off my pick. I'm not going to read all this stuff. It's Batman and the Outsiders number 1. Brian Hill, Dexter Soy, Tyler Kirkham.
Okay.
It's Batman and a bunch of random people. Black Lightning, which is cool. Orphan, which I love. Dude, Jeremy Massey did a Orphan cover for me at RobCon. That's so
Nice.
rad. But I don't, actually, it's right here. Holy crap! How random is that? I'm not even lying. How dope is that?
Awesome.
Jeremy Massey's the freaking man, dude. And you know what he charged me for that? $10. $10
Hearty
for that.
handshake.
Yeah.
That's it. Batman and the Outsiders number 1. Gomer, what do you?
That's
going on?
continuing his Detective Comics run.
Which was very, very good.
Very, very good. My pick is another DC book, Flash number 70. Yes, that sounds weird. Joshua Williamson, Howard Porter. This is the start to the Flash year 1. That's it. That's all it is.
That's what I was going to pick, but I knew you would pick it, so I went with Batman and
Yes.
the Outsiders.
I'm stoked about this. I jumped off Flash. I was on Flash hard, and then it just kept going and going. After the Godspeed stuff, it kept going. It got complicated and just
Godspeed was so
it's
freaking
so good. And after that, it just kind of fell off for me, but I'm anxious to pick up again. Don't let me down, Joshua Williamson. Thank you. Please.
Fell off like leprosy.
It did. Wow. Where's my finger? Leaving parts of myself all over.
Don't pull my finger.
Yeah.
You pulled my finger. Now give it back.
Adam, what do you got?
I got Star Wars Age of Rebellion, Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Number 1 by Greg Pak, Mark Laming,
Laming.
Terry Dodson, and Rachel Dodson. That's 2 Dodsons. So this is the Hunter's Heart as the implacable bounty.
Unconceivable.
Bounty hunter who tracked down Han Solo. Boba Fett earned his reputation as one of the greatest villains in the galaxy. But what happens? What happens, if you will, when Boba Fett picks up the trail of an actual villain?
What?
Find out what kind of heart, if any, beats under that Mandalorian armor. Rated T14.
T14.
Hey, you know what? His backpack's got jets.
And a rocket.
And a Boba the Fett.
And it plays music because they're Joan Jets.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
He bounty hunts for Jabba the Hutt to finance his vet.
Did you say weak, Gomer?
It was a stretch.
It
was a stretch.
That's one of those jokes none of us laugh at, and he goes,
There's gonna be people who like my Joan Jett jokes.
Who's not picked a book yet? David, did you
I
pick
have not picked the book yet.
Pick a
Eve
book.
Stranger number 1 by David Barnett and Philip Bond. You have unlimited funds, a jet set lifestyle, and extraordinary abilities, and your bloodstream is full of nanobombs. The contents of a syringe will deactivate them for a week and also wipe your memory. So what happens when you start to develop a sneaking suspicion that you're actually working for the bad guys? Eve Stranger, amnesiac for hire, high-octane thrills, impossible missions, doomed romance.
It's a dope premise, but they're so going to blow it.
well, there's no way it's going to win with
Black
Batman
Crown at
and Elsa's.
IDW always blows great premises, man. I'm not excited about that book at all. I'm still going to read it, but I'm not voting for it. I'm going over to Twitter right now and voting.
Go to @ComicCastPod on Twitter. Place your vote for the Outright Geekery Book of the Week, and it will be highlighted on next week's podcast. Thanks to everybody that joined us in the live chat, man.
Yes.
We're growing that audience one at a time. We appreciate it, guys. If you haven't done it yet, jump over, hit the like button. If you come back after the video post, leave us a comment. That's going to wrap it up, man, for ComicCast.
Hold on. I want to answer Comics Misexplained in the chat.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it'd be awful if you just responded in the chat while I close the show.
No, we got to say, they're in the live chat. They're spending time with us. Come on, Boogie.
It's true.
Don't be a villain. But I just want to say that
oh, my gosh.
I
He's the one Boba Fett's after.
that way. I would not look. I would just go to the shop on the day of and see what was on the rack. But doing this show, I have to look at what's coming out. And Comics Misexplained requested this. I'm not sure what he wanted the boo button for, but
Eve Stranger.
Probably for you cutting me off, wrapping the show up.
no, that wouldn't be it.
You want to go back and read all the chats we missed? I'll wait.
Yeah, go ahead. This will be the post show.
That's going to wrap it up for ComicCast issue number 142. If you're in the Tri-Cities area, be sure to hit up Dwayne's World Comics and Games. We will see you guys right back here next week, probably back to our normal time around 2 p.m. Eastern. But check Twitter, check Facebook, and we will announce it. For Gomer, a.k.a. David, and Adam Wade Adams, I'm Boogie Bentley. See you guys next week.